What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Meta Monday. This week we are joined by KrumpyLumpkins. What's up, Crumpy?
Hey, how's it going, Copper? Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So this past weekend ranked, I came in fifth, but my friend KrumpyLumpkins here came in third with 23 wins out of 25, playing this Enraged Atlantean war deck. I think this is like your baby that you came up with, and you pioneered this thing.
Yeah, so I guess a bit of history on it. I sort of first started experimenting with Enrage actually with an Atlantean list. Some viewers may be sort of a little familiar with my previous Enrage iteration, which is just, doesn't have a tribal thematic to it. I'd been playing that for a few weeks and doing okay with it, but I decided to sort of try out and go back to my roots. I was originally playing this as a little bit of a meme when I was first trying out Enrage, and just throwing stuff like devouring golem and things in there, and just trying to pile in all the Atlanteans, and I could. And it kind of worked. It kind of didn't. But with the success that I had with my standard Enrage deck, I decided to revisit this and did a little bit of tweaking and found out that it kind of fits quite well into the current meta, dealing with some of these ramp magic and nature decks. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the ward definitely seems like phase touch golem. In my guess, is probably just like the absolute rock star of this deck that really makes it all tick. Is that accurate?
yeah. I mean, he's great to have in there. Particularly, you want to be mulliganing for that whenever you have a nature or a magic matchup. Even deception sometimes, but most deception at the moment is hidden. So ward's not helping you out too much, particularly against cards like mugging and things like that. But Blast Wave, Star Shard Bolt, Canopy Barrage, or all the crap that nature and magic can throw at you.
Yeah.
That kind of negates it fairly well. The other thing about Atlanteans is that you can put a lot of health on the board, which both magic and nature will struggle to clear. So you've got things like the Broken Harvester, which is just annoying as a one cost 1/5.
Yeah. Do you drop this guy on turn one?
It kind of depends whether you want it with the matchup, but it pairs so well with Shield Bearer to make it a 2/6 on turn one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And then also you've got the potential to draw it with Out of Its Misery as well, which makes it a turn 2 for 8 on the board. It's basically a one cost spiral golem in a way.
God.
So the other thing with that is Broken Harvester is not that reliable in where it hits, but you have Respected Jarl and you have double Boost Walker in there to give Twin Strike, which can really make it a bit of a powerhouse in terms of clearing your opponent's board and making way for those big hits to face.
Wow. So yeah, Respected Jarl gives it Twin Strike if it's damaged. Boost Walker gives it Twin Strike and +2/+2. I've never seen the Out of Its Misery combo on turn one and playing this, but that just sounds so good. I need to see that happen now. That's incredible.
Yeah, Card Shark. I mean, people probably know that I run Card Sharks a lot, but I mean, it's an annoying front line with a free Out of Its Misery target. Tartessian Improviser as well, Out of Its Misery target. But if you can drop that extra 2 attack on a Broken Harvester or a Dwarf Atlant, it makes those cards even more scary.
Yeah, for sure. And then you've also got the Swashbuckler in here, who's I love this guy. You never get to see him played. I again assume he's in here. He's got Twin Strike, so you can drop this guy and then enrage him, and he's going to be able to do some damage to face, do some damage to a creature.
Yeah, so I mean, he was originally in there because I have a diamond one, and I love dropping that on the board. It's so with the blue and everything. It's a great looking card, and I love
Looks
to
so
drop it.
good.
But the ping's incredibly useful. It in itself is an out of its misery target, so it has that advantage over Athenian Archer. And the other thing is that it's just deal 1 damage. It's not to a creature. You can pop him in the face with that knife if you want, and that's particularly useful against Clear Mind at the moment. So.
I see. Yeah, that's very smart. I didn't think about the fact that the Athenian Archer is basically a 1/2 deal 1 damage to a creature, and you can't out of its misery on it. So that does make the Swashbuckler a much better choice.
And if you have that thing on the board next turn, Enrage makes it a 3/2. You can throw 3 into face and clear something like a Jaguar or a Underbrush Boar or something with it the following turn. So
that's the Jag. Yeah, Jag was the first thing that came to my mind as well. I know that there's a ton of nature out there right now. I know Caution had a picture where he played 9 straight, his first straight 9 games of the weekend ranked were all nature. And tonight when I was playing, it was just nature. So for sure that is definitely going to be a helpful combo to hit face, kill off a Jag. Definitely going to come in handy.
The great thing with
all
the one strength creatures as well is, and the Enrage God Power is, it's very easy to make 3 strength creatures. So if you have a Card Shark, Shield Bearer, Swashbuckler, whatever you may have, Broken Harvesters, Dwarf Atlants, those are all easily made into 3 strength creatures, which can trade very well into nature creatures, considering they have that little bit extra health that some other gods may not have access to.
Interesting. So what are your mulligan strategies aside from the phase-touched Golem? Depending on the god.
Generally, you're going to hold on to Pyramid Wardens. That's always going to be the case.
Got these gold lads.
That's it. They're the staple in pretty much all my decks at the moment. So of course you're mulliganing for him. But other than that, you're really just sort of looking to see what your opponent has, what your possible advantage could be. If you're going first or second, will depend a lot on how your mulligan plays out as well. So if you're going second, you might be looking for Vanguard Axewoman or Dwarf Atlant, stuff that can sort of get you back a little bit of presence on the board. Tavern Brawler is a good one going second as well. And you generally want to hold on to Out of Its Misery as well. It's probably not worth, throwing away decent cards to try and draw Out of Its Misery, but if you've got it there, you might as well hold on to it, because you're very likely to have at some point early in the game a 1 health creature that you're willing to sacrifice to pull out a 3/6 Rolling Watcher or a 3/7 3/8 Dwarf Atlant, 4/8 Dwarf Atlant. Those kinds of crazy cards to draw Out of Its Misery is certainly something you want to have handy.
Well, what about the Master Tactician? I know he's protected, and so if you enrage this guy and then hit someone for 4, it doesn't take any damage. So to me, this seems like a really nice enrage target. But you're not looking to keep this guy around?
Again, depending on the matchup, if I have this in my mulligan against nature, I will be 100% keeping it, because it's, it has the protected nature, doesn't have a means to get rid of this on turn 1. There's nothing they can do. Against nature, against anything that's going to have any kind of ping to get rid of my stuff, Tactician's great in turn 1. At the same time, it's got that give all other friendly creatures flank, so it can really prove useful, on that turn 6 when someone's going to be dropping a big front line, and you need to finish off the game. So, it's kind of an early game card or a late game card. In between, it's okay. But it just depends on the matchup. Like if I'm playing up against light, I won't be pulling the tactician just for the sake of it being a potential light slevy target.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing feels worse than getting a protected creature lights levied.
That's it. Yeah.
or blight bombed. It just goes right through that protected.
Exactly. So that's another one.
Yeah. What about the size of the harvest? How do you feel about these things in the mulligan? Obviously, they're a little expensive, but this is a phenomenal weapon.
Yeah. It's the only 2 relics in the deck. I used to run a Commander's Gladius as well in Enrage, but and I still find that a very useful card. I just basically couldn't fit it into this deck. But Size of the Harvest is, I mean, in terms of mulligan strategy, I'll never keep this going first, no matter my opponent. Going second, though, it's kind of 50-50 for me. It kind of depends on the matchup. Can be very good going second against nature. It does feel a bit bad to drop this and get a Nefarious Briar, but I think everyone feels that against nature.
Yeah.
If they're running relics, so I mean, the +1 strength to a creature can really serve you well as well. So it kind of just depends on your opponent, your matchup, and yeah, I mean, it's always great to draw it off the top. You're never like, oh damn, I wish I didn't draw sides there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I guess the last thing we'll look at before we take this for a spin is we got this Red Fume Serum in here, which it's a one of, but this card is just ridiculous, and I haven't seen it played frequently until this Enrage deck. But it gives +5/+5, which it's basically a canonize on crack. It's +5/+5 is enough to just finish a lot of games.
That's a good way of putting it. Canonize on crack. I'm gonna call it that from now on. Yeah. So the 5/5. I mean, you drop that on a Rolling Watcher with Ward or something. Like, it's game over. It's at 5 mana to be putting 10 stats on the board.
Yeah.
On an already established board, whatever your opponent throws out isn't going to stand up. And this is where I've found Atlanteans. Or Enrage in general, actually, to be great against, those big front lines that come out on turn 6, like your Minotaur Phalanx or the Black Rhino. Enrage just has the options to, like, ignore that stuff. They've got a big front line on the board. You just smash through it. It's fine. And Red Fume Serum is one of the cards that can really do that. You put it on an Atlantean, which also has high health, so like a Dwarf Atlant or a Rolling Watcher. Not to mention the Twin Strike synergies in this deck. Red Fume Serum is a beast, but I'll only ever run one because having 2 in your hand feels like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Any last comments about the deck before we take it for a spin?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I hope that sort of I can come or get across some of my mulligan strategies and sort of my gameplay strategies across here. You can see, like, from the deck stats that overall
doing
people,
pretty well.
People can generally pilot this deck. It does tend to pilot itself. A lot of the interactions make sense, but sometimes there's a few little nuances that maybe get me that extra 5% out of the deck. So
yeah,
hope to get some of that across today.
Awesome. All right, let's take it for a spin. Right, so we got possibly a ramp magic here.
Yeah, I mean, always Enrage. That's it. It's as simple as that. You don't. I mean,
love to see the phase touched.
It's good to have in there for sure. You don't want Boost Walker this early on, though.
And there's our Out of Its Misery.
You are going first, so Out of Its Misery is good to have, but you kind of want something to establish on board on turn 1, so
which we do
I'd be
not
looking
have.
for a creature here other than Tavern Brawler. Yeah.
Oh, how do you feel about a Naked Shield Bearer Out of Its Misery?
I honestly don't mind it sometimes, but
You want to mulligan here? You want to keep it?
Keep it. Keep
All
it.
right,
Let's do
keep
it.
All right.
Let's do the turn one. You could draw something good here too. No, unfortunately, we're not that lucky. So just drop the shield bearer and play the misery. Hopefully, we can get a 5/9 lad here.
Ooh,
that's pretty good.
Still pretty good. It's got protected. It's a 5/5. And against magic, definitely want to have those big stats. Got to worry about Astric Implosion, the Star Shard Bolts. This is just out of the range.
That's good to have. Particularly against confused creatures, you know, there's a good chance he just runs them in here. So just drop the Tactician.
Yeah, it's hard to complain when any creature you draw has +3/+3.
That's it, yeah.
That card is just so good.
If you stack your deck with cards that out of its misery synergizes well with, yeah, you're going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah, I mean the Pyramid Warden and obviously the 1/5 Atlanteans are just, it's insane to even think of a +3/+3 of either of any of those combinations. They're huge, and you can play them so early that it's just, what does your opponent even do? They just cry.
Yeah, mostly crying. He's playing fairly creature heavy.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit unfortunate.
So I like the trade here, but I know that we have a lot of aggro. We just kind of want to go face, but I mean a 3/5 for a 5/5.
Yeah,
feels
he's playing creature heavy. You know, he's only got one card, and it's pretty easy to get the advantage on the board, I feel, here. So I'd make the trade, and probably play the.
We've got a couple blitzers.
Just play the, could just play the Tavern Brawler here. Tavern Brawler, trade it in, and then Enrage it. Now the reason I'd say that is just because, if his confused creature attacks either one, it dies.
Smart.
And if he's going to play Mage Bolt, he only kills one. So he's used up all 3 mana on that, and now we're kind of hoping that his board trades there, right?
Now he's down to 2 cards.
Exactly, with nothing on the board. Unfortunately, we didn't really get too good a draw there, so it may just be worth playing the Phase Touched in the hopes that we pick up an Atlantean next turn. Against Mage Bolt, Magic, playing a lot of creatures, it's unlikely that he's going to be able to clear that.
True.
Plus, you've got Scythes in hand, which could help you out clearing whatever the threat is.
Like this.
Like that.
The perfect target. Yeah, this... we draw a second size.
Scythes, alright.
Clear that out.
Pretty straightforward. I've been looking at the Maya Bloodworm here as well. So I've been finding it just a very useful card to protect, your warded Atlanteans if they've got no other protection. It's going to have to use 3 mana just to pop ward here. And that's a shame.
Yeah, I always hate to see the Phase Touch die. They're so good.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we draw an Atlantean.
Yeah, so I'm thinking... I'm
thinking Meyer plus Vanguard. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it, and I'd just swing face with the
since we have an
relic
extra
as
one.
well. Yeah.
If you didn't have a second one in your hand, would you still swing face?
Possibly not, considering that he's playing quite creature heavy.
Yeah.
He's obviously not playing ramp. He's
Right.
not going to be as efficient at clearing all my stuff all the time, so I might hold on to the relic for something like that.
Ooh, Red Fume Serum.
It's a Red Fume though. I'd prefer to get rid of that though, but in fact I'd play the Broken Harvester first. with the potential to give that the extra strength.
There you go.
You know, I was talking about the twin strike synergies that can come up. You know, that plus red fume serum can get pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're hoping he goes face.
Wow.
Which it does. So we can clear that ping with the relic. And I would just play the lad and play the lad and enrage the lad and save the red fume. Haven't had any opportunity to offload that out of its misery.
Yeah.
Which is kind of feels bad at this stage.
Yeah, he seems to be playing a lot of creatures and not very many spells, which spells would probably be more likely to leave these alive. But
Yeah, that's
damaged.
Right. Yeah, and that's good for me, considering respected Jarl and things in this deck. Okay, so he's going to get rid of the...
Where's he going to hit this?
Atlantean?
Ooh,
Okay,
goes for the Pyramid Warden.
That's fine.
Gives us a target if we... do you target your own Pyramid Warden?
I often do, yeah. But he's going to clear it anyway.
He's spread the damage around.
What's he? He's got something else then, or not? Okay, that's.
I guess he wants this to burn itself up.
I guess. What's he got in his void? Just from. There's some cool stuff that he could get back, but he's going to get it back from the Warden anyway. So.
What about
we've
just
only had one.
He has no cards left. Do you just maybe red fume the Pyramid Warden and start just smashing his face?
But let's do it. Red fume on the lad, and then drop the Rolling Watcher.
I love a Rolling Watcher, but I just find them so awkward to play. I feel like they get killed instantly every time.
Can do, but he's going to be very focused on killing this lad here.
This time I think he's behind a nice wall, but in general, my poor Rolling Watchers just never have any luck.
So he's got one card to play here. Nothing really useful for him in the Sanctum.
Oh, a Mana Toad.
And that's strange considering he's not playing ramp, or maybe he is, but I think that'll be GG.
Yeah, I guess he just drew poorly, but GG's to Bormalis.
So, I've actually found the greatest difficulty with this deck is actually some of the newer players without Genesis or a full core collection, playing some kind of cheaper sort of ping options. So
yeah, they love those like archers and the there's all kinds of ping
ogre archers and things that can take out a
Carthaginian
touch
Marine.
Golem.
That kind of cuts stuff right through the ward.
Yeah, that's it. Sort of more top-ranked mythic players aren't playing so much of that kind of thing, and the deck performs a bit better against that. But against a lot of ping, you will find difficulty with this because the creatures are getting damaged. They're burning. You're typically relying on high strength, low health, and ward to protect yourself against it. So.
Yeah, I've definitely run into that too, where there's just a lot of creature-heavy type decks. But yeah, that ping does sometimes really help the new players because it just cuts right through ward.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do to stop it. All right, let's see who our next opponent is. Arthur.
Okay, we get a nature matchup.
All right. Let's get our Enrage going. Ooh, we got the lad. You love to see it with the shield bearer combo.
Turn one lad with the not only that, but the Axewoman shield bearer. If he drops a Jaguar or something, that on your turn combo. 2 can be great as well. I just hold on to all that stuff.
Yeah.
Get ready.
All right, so
turn one lad it is.
Easy turn one lad. It's always easy to play a turn one lad.
That's it. Okay. So the broccolis are annoying.
They are so annoying.
Straight into the Axewoman and trade that Warden in and get rid of that broccoli, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't like them. They're going to struggle to get through the lad, but I prefer them dead, and I'm sure that's a familiar sentiment to a lot of people.
Yeah, after running into a lot of nature, and then once they get those shield bearers off on those broccolis, they just live forever. They keep
that's
healing.
Kind of frustrating situation here.
Do we just enrage the Vanguard maybe and trade it?
Yeah, the only thing is with the Rolling Watchers in hand, plus the Boost Walker available next turn, I really want the Rolling Watcher out.
But then this dies. This is on fire.
I think, enrage the Axewoman into the Bloodworm and Shield Bearer on...
Oh, did I jump the gun? Okay, that's what I was thinking. I would shield bear the lad.
I considered it. But,
yeah, it would have kept this alive one more turn, but
I don't think it'll matter too much in the long run.
Yeah.
Again, these kinds of decks could be running a fair bit of ping. So, okay, this is
Ooh.
Some nice scythes to pick up.
Yeah.
The only other thing is, you've got the shield bearer there. It's a great enrage target to take one of these out.
Yeah, I like enrage a shield bearer and then just drop a rolling watcher, and then go face with the.
Go face with the lad. I like it. Chances are he has a canopy barrage, but it's nature. What can you do?
Yeah. Ooh, the lightning strike, the 50-50. Oh, and he gets it.
Gets it.
Hate to see
can
it.
He hit his target? He can.
Ooh.
That's bad. Okay, so Tavern Brawler and Scythes will clear his board. I'd just do that for now, and then hope for being able to land the Atlantean synergies in the coming turns.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully we can get a phase touched here to start protecting us from leech life.
From these spells.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just redundant against Scythes, so...
Yeah, that feels bad.
What can we get from the Sanctum here?
So we can get the Svart or Signal Scouts.
I have been loving Signal Scouts in the Sanctum with this deck, but obviously with no,
no targets.
wounded creatures available. I'd perhaps play the Svart here.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Just for a board presence, if he has
Canopy Barrage.
Canopy Barrage.
Make him waste it.
Yeah, but there's the potential for both Rolling Watcher and Boost Walker next turn, so...
Alright, we got a nice target for our Svart here with the broccoli. Unless we want to...
just for the threat of Lightning Strike, I don't like Red Fume here, but
yeah,
it's a 9/9 that's hitting his face that he has to deal with somehow, and his Rhino's confused. So I'm just gonna say Red Fume and face.
Okay.
Lightning Strike is devastating, but he has used one already.
Yeah, and Lightning Strike's not a guaranteed 2 of, it's... I think a lot of decks want just one Lightning Strike, but if you're playing Control, of course, you probably want 2, but... Ooh,
okay, so
hit his
all
target.
these confused creatures are doing very well today.
This trades nicely,
okay.
And then we can out of its misery.
That's it. That's the play. Start getting some even bigger creatures going on.
Oh, that's not very big. I was hoping for a phase touch.
It's not bad. I would I'd play the Rolling Watcher and Shield Bearer. Still praying he doesn't have Canopy
I
Barrage,
know.
because all this stuff is playing into that really well.
Yeah. Oh no. What's he got for 7? The God Blitz Goat. Right to the face.
Okay. Not too concerned. I mean,
Unless he's got a second
as
one.
much as he... Yeah, exactly.
He couldn't possibly have a second one.
Okay, so...
We can Twin Strike the Rolling Watcher, take out the Broccoli, go face. Could even Enrage it.
I would, yeah, Twin Strike the Rock, take out the Broccoli and go face, and drop the...
You drop in the Master Tactician here.
Drop the Tactician as well. Yeah, just put more stuff on the board. You know, if he has a second God Blitz Goat, he could have lethal, but you know, it would be extremely unlucky. He has no favor, so I wouldn't bother taking anything. And we'll just see where we're at the end of his turn.
Will not back down.
We are at 7 mana, so Demogorgon's scary.
Yeah. I feel like probably we're not going to see a demo here, but yeah.
Yeah, 7 mana is not where you want to be with this deck, but...
Well, there's that Canopy Barrage, but we've got to protect it out, so... Let's see if he can hit his target here. He got one of the 4s.
Lion kind of screws us here, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
That's GG.
Doesn't matter what order we do this in, right?
Nope.
There we go. GG's. Awesome.
So a win against nature is kind of good to see. It wasn't your mid-range type, but it did stand up to a few of those spells, even without the face touched.
Yes. Some of those spells were quite fortunate for him, so it's
Sure.
good to see that we still were able to come back from that perfect lightning strike and the perfect rhino and all that kind of stuff. So, so thanks so much for joining us, Krumpy. You guys can check out KrumpyLumpkins at twitch.tv/KrumpyLumpkins. Krumpy, tell everybody when you're streaming. I know you're streaming a couple days a week these days.
So I'm streaming Tuesday and Thursday nights Australian time, which works out to be Tuesday and Thursdays fairly early morning in the US, East Coast. So those are my regulars, but I'm also doing weekends here and there when I can, most likely on Sundays or Saturday night Eastern time.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Copper. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.